Hey y'all, this is Marley K. Hope everybody is well. I have something that I want to share with y'all. It's a coded message that I don't know. It just dropped into my spirit this morning. So I want to share it with you so you all can prepare. Um, Eat the meat, spit out the bones. Let me say that before I preface that before I start. So y'all been hearing about this bridge collapse story, and I shared a story yesterday about it, but I didn't talk about it from an economic perspective. So it says economists don't expect the Baltimore bridge collapse and port closure to have an impact on growth. But the disaster is a reminder that the U.S. is vulnerable to supply chain shocks, experts say. Excuse the cars going by if you hear that noise because I am sitting next to my window so I can have some fresh air. Okay, so it says the collapse of the Francis Scott Key Bridge. Now, keep in mind, Francis Scott Key, because I'm going to come back to that and I'm going to share something with y'all. And hopefully it will help you understand why I don't believe this boat accident is an accident. I think it is intentional and it is a sign. You know, the powers that be use signs and symbols and codes and colors and clues to speak to each other and to disarm the ignorant. I guess that's the best way to say it. Or just kind of poke fun at us. And having been asleep for a while and just not really aware of this realm that these people operate in, you know, at some point I was probably one of those people, but not anymore. So we're going to read the story, but I'm going to come back before I'm circling back to the Francis Scott Key name. And we're going to talk about this person. So on Tuesday is a reminder that the economy remains vulnerable to sudden supply chain shocks, experts say. And that is what was predicted by WEF. While the disaster is unlikely to have a tangible effect on headline GDP, and that's the gross domestic product growth, or inflation, it could affect specific sectors, driving up shipping and trucking costs, and affect employment in Baltimore, they say. The bridge collapsed after the Dolly, a Maersk chartered ship, collided with one of its support beams, which, you know, when I saw that video and I saw it just went directly for the support beam, I was like, you mean to tell me that bridge, that they couldn't do nothing? They had to take out the whole support thing. Like, come on. Anyway, so here's how the catastrophe could affect the economy and the city of Baltimore. So the bridge collapse isn't expected to have any meaningful impact on the economy, which continues to grow at a surprisingly fast pace, lies, despite Wall Street's long-term worries about a potential recession. They're just lying to us. You go in the grocery store, stuff is 2-3 times higher than it was last year and higher than it was during the pandemic. Um, who they fooling? Rent high. And they're telling you we on the way to a potential recession. Honey, we are about to be in the Great Depression. People are being put out of their houses as we speak, can't afford to pay rent. Uh, Companies laying off. This event will have greater economic implications for the Baltimore economy than nationally, Oxford economics chief U.S. economist Ryan Sweet said on Tuesday in a research note. We don't anticipate the disruptions to trade or transportation will be visible in U.S. GDP, and the implications for inflation are minimal. There will be there will likely be some temporary disruptions to certain industries, including automakers, but nothing that warrants an immediate change to our baseline forecast. So notice they want to tackle the automakers. They want to attack. They want to attack cars because they have this zero fossil fuel uh, policy that they came out with at somewhere. I can't even remember, so many stupid meetings. Um, I don't know if it was the UN meeting or COP 28. Somewhere they decided they wasn't going to use fossil fuels no more. So of course you got to switch to electric cars. And so automakers are going to start doing stuff now home. So they're getting ready to try to do stuff stateside. And this is a way for them to be able to do that and convert us. JP Morgan also downplayed the potential impact of Tuesday's disaster, with strategists saying in research that noted that they were predicting minimal implications for vehicle inflation. So they keep talking about cars. They ain't talking about nothing else. We can't eat no damn cars. So it just lets you know that all of these people care about is money. They don't care about our well-being. They don't care if you live. They don't care if you die. So if you are listening to the sound of my voice and you are not coming to the conclusion that you are on your own and you need to become more self-sufficient and survival thinking, like I ain't talking about being a prepper and going out into the woods and rolling around like you getting ready to go to Vietnam or nothing, but just becoming self-sufficient like our ancestors were back in the day. They didn't have power. They didn't have running toilets. They didn't have air conditioner. They walked. They didn't have no cars. Them days coming back. This is going to be the survival of the fittest. Those might sound like big numbers, but they're not large. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't read this. So it says, experts told BI that the Port of Baltimore contributes economic activity worth $15 million a day, although Sweet put that figure at just 2 million. Those might sound like big numbers, but they are not large enough to make a dent on the broader economy. It was worth just under 28 trillion as of April 2023, per estimates by the IMF, the International Monetary Fund. But here is the kicker. Baltimore might bear the brunt of any economic pain, according to Sweet. The economic cost will be larger for the Baltimore metro area, which is predominantly what? Black. Around 80 billion in cargo moves through the port annually, and a partial closure of the port could lead to direct and indirect temporary layoffs, he said. However, the port accounts for less than 0.5% of the metro area's daily output. So certain types of goods could feel the brunt of disruption. The Port of Baltimore is the busiest for roll-on, roll-off cargo, which includes cars, light trucks, and agricultural and construction equipment. If it stays shut for some time, then companies face higher costs by having to reroute goods, according to Michael Tambakis, a professor at City University of London's Bayes Business School. Sure, is a bunch of people from overseas minding our business, ain't it? Wonder why. I'm going to tell you why in a minute. If it stays shut, I already read that. So it says it's not clear that the closest alternative port, Norfolk, has the capacity to accommodate the kind and type of cargo going to Baltimore, he told BI. It is likely that vessels will be diverted, probably to New York or New Jersey. Leave the world behind. With some cargo completing journeys via rail or truck. Protection and indemnity insurance premiums were also likely to rise. So that means the cost is going to go up to us. Be transferred to us. So significant amounts of coal, gypsum, I don't know what that is, sugar, paper, chocolate, and ice cream also pass through the port each day, and Tuesday's disaster could also affect the market for these goods. But the bridge's collapse is unlikely to cause similar disruption to past supply chain crises, such as the Ever Given blocking the Suez Canal in 2021, according to another city, University of London academic Ioannis Moutouris. Who they show chiming in. While the Dolly tragedy has already caused disruption in the regional supply chains and specific shipping sectors, as Baltimore is a major U.S. roll and roll off container and coal port, its effects are not expected to be comparable to the Ever Given accident, he told BI. But you see, coal is something that people use to heat and cook and power stuff. So that's a problem. And then, you talk about some of the other things. They didn't really go into this detail about how much fuel and natural gas, coal, and I want to say, I don't know if it's nuclear power, some other type of fuel or power, some hazardous materials. I'll just say there are some hazardous materials. A lot of hazardous stuff goes through this area, and so that's also going to be problematic. But at the end of the day, we already talked about how they're going to destroy all these black cities, and they're doing that. It was not by accident that they chose Baltimore, but the fact that it was the Francis Scott Key bridge is significant. It stood out to me because when I heard the name, I was like, that's the person who wrote the Star Spangled Banner. So let me read to you what the Star Spangled Banner says, the entire poem where the national anthem came from. But listen to it, because to me, this is what is significant about this bridge collapse. I think it is a sign of what is about to come. And so I'm preparing my spirit, because I can't prepare physically. There's no way you're going to be able to prepare for all the things that are about to come on the earth. But I'm trying to prepare my spirit. And I got this morning, so I'm going to share this with y'all. So listen to the Star Spangled Banner. This is the entire poem. So it says, oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Now I'm going to go to the next part, because this is the part that we don't ever hear. On the shore dimly seen through the mist of the deep, where the foe's haughty host in dread silence reposes. What is that which the breeze o'er the towering steep, as it fitfully blows, now conceals, now discloses? Now it catches the gleam of the morning's first beam, in full glory reflected, now shines on the stream. 'Tis the star-spangled banner, oh long may it wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. And where is that band who so vauntingly swore that the havoc of war and the battle's confusion, a home and a country, should leave us no more? Their blood has washed out their foul steps foul footsteps, pollution. No refuge could save the hireling and slave from the terror of flight and the gloom of the grave. And the star-spangled banner in triumph doth wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Oh, thus be it ever, when free men shall stand between their loved homes and the war's desolation, abomination of desolation. Blessed with victory and peace, may the heaven rescued land, may the heaven rescued land praise the power that hath made and preserved us as a nation. That's the devil. We're not praising him. Then conquer we must, for our cause it is just. And this be our motto: in God we trust. It's on the back of your money. And the star-spangled banner in triumph shall wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. So I wanted to share that with y'all, especially this next to the last paragraph where it talks about havoc of war and the battle's confusion and how people are going to be standing between their house. No refuge could save the hireling and the slave. So this to me, Gentiles, y'all ain't going to be safe. Black folks, y'all already know y'all ain't never safe. But we all are in this together. So a lot of people are, under the impression that this time going to be like the last time when it comes to war. It's not going to be like that. It's not going to be like that. So I just feel as though the taking out of that bridge, the name of the bridge is symbolic for what is about to come. We're talking about civil war. This is talking about civil war. It was written during that time. Look at 1779 to 1843. And I'll just read you the bio. So it says, Francis Scott Key was a lawyer who witnessed the day-long assault of Fort McHenry by British troops during the War of 1812. Key saw the fort hold during the attack and was inspired to write Star Spangled Banner, which became the national anthem. So this was written because of an attack. It was by the British. I don't know who gonna attack us because the boogeyman is everybody. But y'all take this and chew on it a minute. This could be another sign or another clue or another code for those of us who are awakened and looking at, what's coming next so that we can try to gird our loins and get ourselves together. People are going to be surprised when these things start happening. When these things, all these bigger incidents with more chaos, because it's an inexpensive way, like they talked about in the movie Leave the World Behind. It's an inexpensive way to, cause us to turn on one another and make the country fall. The media is doing a great job of pitting us against each other. The politicians are, and our neighbors are. Like, if people are just being ignorant, and people are being racist, and people are just getting money and worrying about celebrity news and not really paying attention to what is going on in the world. This country got to fall and get in line before the New World Order works. Ain't going to work. The old order got to come down. we gotta fall, and it's already been prophesied that Mystery Babylon is going to fall. So we are going to see a lot more signs, symbols, codes, clues, colors, BS, boogeymen, accidents, chaos, shortages, disruptions, higher prices, inflation, shrinkflation. We're going to see more of it. So while things are reasonable, continue to stock up. If you don't have gas cans or fuel, I recommend you get that. Um, have alternative modes of transportation. Even that means you got a buck and bin, get you a wagon, get you one of those fold up kind if you live in an apartment or a small place, compact that you can unfold and fold and keep it, someplace. At this point, it doesn't even really matter about, um, you know, if you have a place to put stuff, put it, put it. If you got some doors with some locks, put it in your house. You got a shed, put it in your shed. If you got an attic, put it in your attic. Do what you got to do to make sure that you are taken care of, because there are so many things going on at one time. It is almost impossible to keep up with it. Um, it's a lot of stuff happening. But what you got to know is the Most High is in control. Most High God is in control. He is going to save us. Those of us who hear his voice, those of us who are trying to obey the law, statutes, and commandments, and seeking repentance daily. Those of us who are trying to awaken our brothers and sisters and find these lost sheep, or wake up these lost sheep, shepherd these hard-headed sheep that need switches to their legs. It's getting rough out here. It's just the beginning, though. So don't lose faith. Don't have fear. We got to stay strong, but we got to keep watch. So I just wanted to share this with y'all. I honestly don't think that this bridge and this name, the person that the bridge is named after, um, is accidental. So at this point, I don't believe there are any accidents. I think everything is planned. Everything is going as planned. The people are still asleep. And the few of us that are awakened, we are being silenced, either through social um, engineering or just because it's safer for us to just be quiet. In any event, just keep holding on, y'all. We are in for a rough time, and America is not ready for what's coming. So continue to prepare as best you can. Put away things. You need medical stuff. You need hygiene stuff. You need cleaning products because we can't get sick. Get your mask and your gloves, stuff for all types of environmental emergencies. I'll say that. Um, Stock up on your food, your non-perishables and things. Charcoal thing. And make sure you have a good grill or some methods. Learn how to cook on the fly, camping stuff. Have your go bags ready in case you live in the city and you got an abandoned post. Be ready for anything and everything. Have your routes planned out. Have plans so that when something happens, your family knows what to do when there's no communication, including family and children and stuff out of town. So we just got to be prepared, because this is escalating. It's getting faster, and I just feel like the story about the gold, the price of gold skyrocketing in the United States. I don't know if y'all saw that, but the United States is talking about going back on the gold standard, putting the dollar back on the gold standard to fight inflation. It's a wrap. It's done. This place is done. The dollar is done. Use them dusty dollars and exchange them for stuff that's valuable to you, that you can use in tangible um, things that you can consume in the event that something happens, because it's coming. And try your best to partner with people in your community who are awakened. Um, it's not a lot of people who get it, but I'm just finding that it's getting more difficult every day to be around people because they're just sleepwalking. And they're going to be coming to us, asking us all kinds of questions, especially if it's people that you've warned and they didn't heed your warning. And, I don't know how, any of us will react. I know all of us are tired, like literally burned out. But it's not going to be a time, it's not going to be a pretty time. And so, we need to be working on our spirits. We need to be working on hearing from the Most High so we can do what He wants us to do now, and so that we will be covered and protected when these bad situations come down the pipe, because they're coming. So I love y'all. I don't know what's going to happen, but I just feel like everybody I know that's awakened, everybody is tired. Like I was talking to my son, he was just like, I'm so agitated. People get on my nerves now. It's like and it just seems like people are just provoking me. And, the people have spirits now. You could see, if you're awakened, you could see the spirits in people's eyes. You could see the cruelty in people's hearts. And even people who are related to you, even people who are close to you, like people just ain't right. And I don't know if you will ever, like, I just hope this is not a long period, because it's like really gonna be scary. And I hear people, you see all this stuff coming out. Well, I'll talk about it in another video, but I don't want to delay this video. But people are going to be weird. So we just got to make sure we are right. We are strong in our faith. We understand the word. We know what the Most High promises are. And we're going to stand on them. We're going to stand on His business. We're going to stand on Yahuwah's business. That's what we're going to do. All right, y'all. Please like this video, share it, and subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell notification so that you'll be notified each and every time I upload new content. Make sure you are still subscribed, because they've been unsubscribing people. Like, I can't get past 600. It don't make no sense. Like, I can't even get 6 little people. If I get to like 594, I'll go to bed. I'll wake up the next day, 3 of the people gone. Like, they just be doing all kinds of stuff to this little channel. I don't even know. It's so funny. But just be careful. Be mindful of who you're following. Be mindful of what you're putting in your spirits, and what you're putting, what you're listening to, who you're watching, because it's so much. Like, this is a season of uncovering. And if you're not living right and doing right and treating people right, you've been scamming and skimming and doing stuff. Your slip finna be hanging. Your draw's gonna be tore. Everything is being revealed. Especially for our people, because we thought we could parlay and hang with the Gentiles and do what they do. We ain't like them. And everybody is going to eventually have to give an account for their behavior. So let us all do what we are supposed to do. Obey those laws, statutes, and commandments. Repent, cry out to the Most High, so we all can be delivered, and so our brothers and sisters can wake up. Like, ask Him to continue to pour out His Spirit among His people, all flesh, because He don't want anybody to perish. And so that's what we got to keep that in mind. He does not want. He thinks all of us are lost sheep. Now, there's some people He said He gonna hate, but some of those people too can be saved. Some of those people can see the error of their ways, and get the Spirit and be filled with it, understand who we are, and change. It does not mean that they are not going to be judged for their past behavior. We all are. But we can't be out here acting like we the only people who are awakened and who the Most High loves. He created everything, so He loves everything. He didn't want everything to be wicked and evil. We just are. So He got to destroy us and start all over again because we're so terrible. But if you get it on your own, it's always better. So we need to give people the opportunity to get it on their own. And I know we're all frustrated, but you might find that, hey, Gentiles might be a saving grace for you and not your brothers and sisters. Because the way it's looking now, I can say without a doubt, I ain't gonna be able to rely on nobody around me hardly. Not even the men folk. The men folk are just, whew, I don't even want to talk about it. But anyway, I'm gonna end this video. Y'all keep prepping, keep praying, keep seeking the Most High. Repent daily for your sins, sins of commission and sins of omission. Make sure you are following Yah's way because He is not playing with us. He ready to tear down Babylon, and if you can't see it coming, you will be caught off guard. All right, this is Marla K. Love y'all, and I'm out.